3 or 4 weeks ago looked for Machado maybe going to, as you just said, the Diamondbacks.
Well, there's one team that has a ton of prospects who are major league ready, and they're coached by someone I know pretty well up in Milwaukee. So,
Oh, you know the coach up there, right?
Oh, I know all too well.
But you don't like him, right? That is also the voice of Chris Muldoon, by the way. It wasn't formally introduced.
We disavow any knowledge of anything else he might have been thinking.
Do you and the coach, Craig, need to go for some counseling?
Very good. The only thing that I love is that his wife hates Milwaukee. So the end of his career, he'd have to make 1-year deals with Arizona and Milwaukee because his wife didn't want to go back to Milwaukee for more than 1 year because he's from there and she loves Arizona. So if you look at the back of his baseball card or his baseball reference page, you'll see Arizona, Milwaukee, Arizona. So when he signed as manager of the Brewers, I could hear the scream from here. I could hear the scream from what? Yeah.
I'll see you 4 times a year.
Yeah, exactly. The kids are in school down here. Got to stay.
I don't blame his wife.
Yeah,
I don't like Milwaukee too much either.
You like the ballpark though.
Yeah, the ballpark was nice. I saw Kirk Neuenhuis, and I was there screaming, "I'm a Met fan and I miss you."
I saw. How about there's been a Matt Decker sighting last night with the Mets?
Yeah, oh my God.
Wow. Am I watching a game from a couple of years ago? They had all these Dutch names: DeGrom, Neuenhuis.
Oh, what's his name's back too? Who's the other guy? The Jewish guy who's back with the Mets too.
And who was your cleanup?
Oh, Ty Kelly.
Yeah, Ty Kelly. Yeah,
he's got the most Jewish name there is. Ty Kelly.
Yeah. Hey, up in the morning to you by the pot of goldie.
Well, you should. It's funny you should mention that because there was a few years ago when I was coaching summer baseball in Farmingdale. There was a mom who really helped me out, and she kind of looks like Barbara Streisand. But she and her parents were always at every game. Her dad was a lifetime Brooklyn Dodgers fan. Guy was great, talk baseball, whatever, But she must have been divorced from an Irish guy because she was Jewish and her whole family was Jewish. But the most Irish, it was like McGillicuddy. The name was so Irish. So you see, but they were Jewish. And her daughter is the salutatorian this year at the high school. And then I saw her tonight because her son was playing cello at this concert I was at. So I was talking to her, and her dad was there. And like, I love this guy. So I'm like, but it's funny. It's like Ty Kelly because this kid's name is I don't know if it's O'Toole. I forget what the last name is.
I learned about that.
But it's Irish.
I think O means grandson of a guy named Toole, and Mick means son of.
Son of, yeah.
Son means Mick. Yeah, with my last
and
name.
then Vaughn is of the family or from. Exactly.
Oh, who was your cleanup hitter last night for your Mets?
For the Mets?
Yeah, Dom Smith.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I know that the first pitch was thrown out by the immortal Chris Benchkowski.
They wouldn't stop talking about it the whole game. It's like, hello, there's a game going on.
He's from Albertson, so
he is.
Yeah, lives in
Herrick's, or
yeah, it would have to because I think he's by where it's no longer there anymore. Friendly, it's where he lived. That's the Herrick side of Albertson. Yeah.
All right, who's going to win the American League? Houston, Cleveland, Boston, or New York?
Wow. Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're all good teams.
All of the above?
They're all going to have a chance at 100 wins, or some of them are anyway, right?
No, in fact, what do you call it? Cleveland doesn't even need 100 wins.
No, Cleveland's not
one more. I think their magic number's tomorrow. You know,
yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that division is God. How many games?
You know, the Oakland Athletics have a better record than the Cleveland Indians, right?
Wow.
Yeah, Minnesota's 8 games behind.
Wow.
I mean, so you talk about getting your bullpen in order.
Yeah.
And aligning everything, and start bringing up the young.
One problem with that for Cleveland is that they're going to get paralysis when it comes time to make deals. Like when they got to the World Series against the Cubs and they acquired Andrew Miller, they're like, nope, we need to do this. Now they're like, well, we're up 8 games, forgetting that it's that they need the playoffs. They need to get a guy acclimated to the team and be ready for the playoffs. They're going to be like, well, we can afford not to be. We can be choosy. We don't have to pay top dollar. It's like you kind of don't want to think that way because if you want to go far in these playoffs, and you're going to be facing some really good teams, these Red Sox, the Yankees, and the Astros are supremely good. So
why are the Mets hanging on to Familia? They could get a double-A player. I mean, they could go to any of these teams. They could go to Houston. I mean, anybody, even Cleveland will take a flyer on them too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. You got number one, you got a 3-headed monster at GM, so you can't come to a consensus there.
Oh, ship my Mania out. Tell him he can't come back.
Call up Adam Rubin, graduate of Beckham.
Yeah.
I would say that Familia, they're just waiting for closer to July 31st, basically, because some teams got it. Some desperate teams got to get into it. My problem with July 31st is that there will be some teams falling out of it between now and then.
I'm hoping St. Louis, just for the Yankees, they got a couple of starters, and they love restock. They love restocking their farm system. And like I said, I'm just hoping that St. Louis and again, I have nothing to do with it, but that would be even the kid, the young man that pitched last night was Nicholas. He's 10-3. And you just hope that the Yankees can grab somebody like lightning in a bottle.
You see guys who look at the deals last year. There were some deals that brought back good players, but there were also some deals that brought back nothing in baseball last year. So I think that's another thing to do with Familia and stuff. There were just deals last year that brought back absolutely nothing. So.
As a Met fan, I salute you by saying that. You have traded for some real stinkers in this past.
Well, they last year they traded for quantity, right? They traded for 6 or 8 minor league power arms, guys who threw 96 and above, hoping 1 or 2 would stick. And that's the whole problem when someone says, "Oh, trade DeGrom." All right, trade DeGrom, but I know what DeGrom can do, and he's doing it at the major league level. Anything you trade for is it's a chip, it's a piece of paper. I don't know what they're going to do. And even the Yankees, when they see that now, like Greg Bird, you still don't know what you're getting from him, but at least he's at the major leagues. But Justice and Frazier and those other guys, like Labor Torres is the lottery ticket right now. Everyone thinks he's going to be huge. But again, until they actually succeed and perform at the level, like we see Ahmad Rosario, he's going to be good. He'll be fine. He'll be a good major leaguer. But it's not now. It's not right now.
Yeah, and the gentleman were talking about the young players coming out of high school into the pros. The union will never allow that because they realize that they've got guys that got 3-5 years under their belt that are going to get knocked out of positions. That's a bargaining chip that Adam Silver can use when it comes down to negotiations and just a little bit of leverage. You can't have young men coming out of high school and playing in the pros.
I mean, they do it in every other sport.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's just I'm talking about union activity and stuff because again, you've been around 3-4 years. You don't want to get bounced out.
Right. Well, yeah, it's the guys who get bounced out will be veterans, but these younger players. I mean, they're making it doesn't matter because it's succeeding fine, but just the mockery of college basketball that's going on. It's just one of those things, and then just Kentucky and Duke and Kansas and wherever else it's doing it. It's like come on, just
I didn't realize you guys weren't doing football picks. My suggestion would be let everybody in the studio pick one team that week, and that would instead of the. Over and over and over.
Graduation list, as you call it.
I think the difference is, I would think the spirit of the question behind the football picks is the fact that these guys, when I used to do them with my previous co-hosts, we would use a spread. But these guys don't use the spread, which is fine. But now that sports gambling will be legal probably real soon in these parts.
No way.
No.
Everything but Highline will be legal.
Yes. Milford, Highline. Once sports gambling becomes legal and becomes the law of the land, so to say, it'll be states' rights. Yeah. I mean, to use but then you'll start seeing them saying spread on TV. Something they can't do. As official NFL partners, they're not supposed to do spreads. Although, Al Michaels he's known for the little coy ways he brings up the spread whenever games go on. And somewhere in some parts that was a very important score for some people. He would say that was the over-under and stuff like that.
Google Brent Musburger and the company he started.
Oh, yeah. Everyone made fun of him when he went to Vegas to do that with his son.
The Peeping Tom Club?
That was the one offer that was the one concrete actual offer that can be pointed to, because everything else is a lie, that Frances actually got. So it was from Brent Musburger's company.
I thought AJ McCarron's wife was the offer he couldn't refuse.
Do you guys let next you're gonna bring up Joe Namath, at his award ceremony. People make mistakes.
Susie Colbert.
That wasn't a mistake. It was a compliment. It was.
Well, it was. It was his line was, "You're gonna see, being a quarterback is a good thing," or something like that. In terms of have your kids be quarterbacks because look what kind of girlfriend you get or whatever. But that was the same way that Jen Sturger was discovered by at Florida State as well. Like somebody pointed her out in the crowd as well. That's the way that Pam Anderson was discovered at I think it was the BC Lions. She was discovered at a Canadian Football League game back in the day. In the crowd, it's just a fan in the crowd. She was discovered, and now Pam Anderson is the girlfriend of a player on one of the World Cup semifinalists.
Oh, Borat Sagayev.
Is that what it is? And what team is he on?
Kazakhstan.
Really? Oh, duh. Yeah, okay. I'm going to throw you down the well.
Don't worry, Mark. You'll meet your girl in a bouncy castle. Have a nice night.
All right. Good night, Dave from Francisco.
I had you right there.
You did. I'm like, what? No. It was one of the 4 semifinals. Well, it could have been because Croatian names all have these names.
Yeah.
My wife. 516-572-7440. 516-572-7440. That's the number to call. We'd love to hear what's on your mind in the world of sports. Cameron has a really awesome shirt on.
Yeah, I do. I have my shirt when I went to a Yankee Red Sox game.
That's really traditions collide. Red Sox versus Yankees. Caller, you're on Sports Talk. What the? Someone didn't understand. Okay. It was either a Long Island duck sound or or there's a World Cup Fazuzela.
You're Rabbi Perlington here over here. You know
Does he do 2 microphones?
No. He had somebody else engineering his show.
Oh,
another Jew.
Hide your food. 516-572-7440. Now you got a cool shirt on too.
Yes.
That's the crabs. That's the Bridgeport crabs.
No, Charlotte Stone Crabs of the top 8 affiliate of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, and I love the colors too. Caller, you are on Sports Talk. Hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hey, is this Doug from the post office?
That's Doug from the post office.
Hey, Doug from West Hempstead?
Doug from Franklin Square.
Oh, did you move?
Well, I'm still in West Hempstead,
okay.
But I'm giving all my names. Okay, before you start asking me questions, I just have to get this off my chest. Of course, you're going to hate anybody who beats you out of a third base job for Notre Dame.
No. Let me point out, he did not. He was my backup. I broke my hand. So.
You never said that. I always thought it was you. He beat you out of third base.
No. It was. Wow. There's a reason why when he scored that winning run for the World Series, he sent me an email and said, "Hey, Pip." If you know who Wally Pipp is, you understand the reference. So I broke my hand, and he took third base
and took the major league.
And then 2 World Series rings later. This is why I'm doing this, and he's doing that. I was a millionaire first, though, as I always like to point out. So there you go.
Okay, now I have a feeling that when you were talking about 2001, it might have been. I'm not 100% sure because I'm not a Yankee fan, but Tito Martinez.
Tito Martinez was one of them.
Yeah,
and Algeria had one.
That was the ridiculous thing at Kim, and they still won the World Series. It's crazy. They still won the World Series despite those 2 Kim explosions, as it were. I hate saying Kim explosions because is that the North Korea? Oh, that's Kim.
Yeah. We're getting nasty today.
So how about my Mets?
Oh no! So Doug,
keep them.
We've been cleaning my basement, and I found a videotape put together by you of the Mets. Great Mets highlights that you had sent to Sports Talk over 10, 15 years ago.
VHS tape.
VHS tape. It's a VHS tape. Yeah, I have it right with. I've got a VCR down there, so it's like
How long? I mean, man, how long ago was that?
I know.
That's back in the Steven Andrew days.
So get this. So I'm driving here. And I get in the post parking lot last week, and all of a sudden I get a text, and it's not a name. Like if Cameron texted me or if Mark texted me, I'd see their name would come up because I have it in my phone. But a number comes up, but I recognize the number. I'm like, no, it can't be. And the text. This is 8:50 on Thursday night, and the text says, "Hey Chris, what's your mailing address?" And I'm like, oh, it's Andrew DeMarco, my original person. Getting married. When you get it, whenever someone asks you for your mailing address, it's going to be a wedding invitation.
What about when someone told me put this in the calendar a year in advance, and then guess what happened? No invitation.
Oh really? Yeah. Oh, save the date. Save the date because you'll be free.
Yeah.
Well, that's not so bad. Not having even a wedding day. This is me. I'm now officially old enough that I've got someone fishing for a gift. It's like, oh, he's an adult. I'll get him. He'll be good for a gift. Like if you guys got married within the next 5 or 6 years, fine. But like when it's beyond that, it's like if it's +5 and we haven't spoken in 5 years, it's like I don't know about that. So But
how about Steve? Do you still hear from Steve?
I hear from Steve via Facebook because he's always, he's with MLB.com, so he's always at a really great place. He's always at a great stadium, on the field. He went to Japan last year. He went to China last year.